This is a helpful beading tip from Turquoise String Beads in Fall River, Massachusetts. It's for a beginner level beader, and it relates to wire working, but the very basics in wire working. Today we're going to be doing a Swarovski crystal barrette. You can do it in any color or finish you like, and we like to use the 4mm Swarovski bicones. The pieces and tools you will need for this project are a barrette that's beadable, 24 gauge craft wire or artistic wire, either one works, 4mm Swarovski crystals, a pair of chain nose beading pliers, and a pair of wire cutters. The first thing you want to do when starting out your barrette is coming over to the back, popping open the end, and taking out the insides of the barrette. This is going to make it a lot easier for you to wrap your piece around and bead it when you don't have the insides on the barrette. Once I have the barrette guts taken out and it's empty and ready to go, I'm going to pick up 2.5 feet worth of my 24 gauge craft wire. I want to take the end and I want to wrap it around in that loop 2 to 3 times to anchor down what I'm about to wrap onto the barrette. Now, sometimes the wire can be a little hard to fasten down. If you have trouble wrapping it around, you can always grab your chain nose pliers and it'll help you to pull it nice and tight. So I've gone around a couple times. I want to go around one more. And once I do that, I'm going to pull it nice and tight with my chain nose pliers. Once I do that, I'm going to get my cutters. I'm going to cut off that extra tail, and then I'm just going to make sure that everything is nice and neat and tucked in. You want to make sure that the little piece that you just cut off is tucked in, because it could get stuck in someone's hair if it's still sticking out and you have someone with really full hair. When you start beading the piece, you want to come up from the back side of the barrette. You don't want to come over into the top, because it's going to show more wire and it's going to make your rows uneven. So I'm going to come around from the back and I'm going to string on 3 4mm Swarovski crystals. Each section is going to have 3. That is just enough to cover the top of the comb. The barrette, I'm sorry. I'm going to take my section. You want to wrap it down and keep it nice and flat, and with a nice tight tension, pull it straight around once until you're coming around the top of your barrette. I'm going to grab 3 more, string it onto the wire, and I'm going to go back around, lay it down flat over the top of my barrette, and I'm going to wrap it around again. This is what you're going to do for the entire top and the entire body of the barrette. The only thing you want to make sure of is when you come around to this side, that's the side with the clip part that attaches the end to the body of the barrette to hold the hair in. You do not want to get wire in between those 2 pieces. You want to make sure to bead completely around it. You don't want to leave any wire overlapping on it. So once you've gone around, you only want to add a row, wrap around, add 1 row, and wrap around all the way through the body. Once the body is done, you're going to come around to the final piece and you're going to finish it off the same way you started the piece. I'm going to put on 3 crystals. I'm going to lay it flat over my final space, and when I go to wrap under, instead of coming all the way around, I'm going to come back up through that hole on the other side. And the same thing I did in the beginning. If you need to get a nice tight grip on it, use your chain nose pliers. That's what they're there for. I'm going to wrap around 3 times. And once I've gone around my 3rd time, I'm going to come in with my wire cutters. I'm going to snip off any extra wire, And then I'm going to tuck the end in with my chain nose pliers. Now once I do that, you want to flip it over. You want to slide the insides back in. And you have yourself a beaded barrette. That's it for now. We hope this was helpful to you. We'll have more helpful hints, so stay tuned. In the meantime, happy beading from Turquoise String Beads in Fall River, Massachusetts.